Hello my friends, this is Sherry with PalletToPalette, and I have just had a day trying to figure out how to fix the audio on the software that I use to do my tutorials and videos. Every time I log into this software, my audio isn't being captured, so I have to go back to square one and try to figure it out all over again. And I wrote it down on a index card today, so hopefully a bright orange one. So hopefully I can remember it for next time and it doesn't take me all day to figure it out, because that was very frustrating. So today we are going to be painting and putting together a campsite sign. Okay, so let's do the overhead view real quick. So this is what we've got. We've got our back piece that I've got some lines in it to make it look like wood. I mean, it is wood, but to make it look more rustic. And then we've got names and some Adirondack chairs to paint. And I hope I don't sweat myself out. I turned the AC off in the studio because it was too loud and I didn't want to try to record over it. And I think that it might get pretty hot in here pretty quick because the sun just went over the top of the house and now it's at the back. And I've got the sliding glass door in here and two big 5-foot windows in the back of the studio. So the sun's just going to be coming right in here and melting me in a few minutes. So we'll try to get through this quickly. So what I have is a sign that you can hang at your campsite, and it can be personalized. So this is what I'm going to do. After I get everything painted, I am going to do Wilcox up here. And then I'm going to put my chairs here with the campfire in the middle. So probably like here and here. Here's my campfire and my logs. So I've got my Adirondack chairs, my campfire, and then this side will say Rick, and this side will say Sherry, and then we will have Bergen, New York down here, and it appears I've lost my comma. Interesting. That'll be okay, I suppose, because we'll put Virgin over there and New York there. But you know how the campsite signs usually have the town that the campers are from, so we'll have that at the bottom. So I am actually, whoops, I've already got some tape here. So I'm going to get some of my sticky tape out to put my letters on. And if you haven't seen me do this before, this is a pretty neat way to paint small items, because they will stay here and not try to flip over or stick to your sponge, which is what I use, makeup sponges. So I stick my small letters and things like that on tape that I flipped upside down. Oh, you can't even see that. Hold on. Tape that I've flipped upside down, so it's sticky. Sorry. There you go. So this is all just on sticky tape, and then when I go to paint it, I can just dab onto that. And I'm just going to put these things to the side. And I'm going to paint my background first so that I can get that out of the way. The easiest way to do this and have it look like wood is a baby wipe. So it looks like stain. So I use my acrylic paint. Oh, sure I do. It should pop out at me right in my eye. No, gotta pop that open. Toothpick. So I use baby wipes a lot, and makeup sponges. I use those more than I use paintbrushes, actually. But the baby wipe makes the paint look like stain, and you can still see. Well, you'll see as soon as I start. You will see. And I will be a paint-covered mess by the time I'm done. And sorry about the shadowing in here too, but okay, so here we go. I just dabbed I put paint on the plate, and then I just dabbed a wadded up baby wipe in it. So the moisture in it is going to thin this out as we wipe it on. And you're still going to be able to see the lines through it. Sorry about the wiggling. My table that I paint on to do the recordings is on wheels, so it does wobble a little bit when I'm doing this, so I apologize for that. Hope it doesn't make anybody dizzy. I need more paint. I don't even have my paint apron on, so I hope it doesn't get too messy over here. Pretty excited about the weather, even though it's been pretty warm the past few days. We did get the pool open, so we will get to enjoy that. The two oldest grandsons have been enjoying it. They've been in, we haven't even had the solar cover on it yet. We're in Western New York. Like the last 6 inches, I think, that I had to fill of it after we opened it were right from the hose. So it's pretty cold. They didn't care. They're swimming. They've been in three days in a row. They've been in. I think they would swim in any weather. And I finally got in yesterday. It was pretty nice. Okay, so this is my board. It looks a little crazy in the view there, but it looks really good. Do a front view and show you. It's not as splotchy if you look at it that way, but so this, you can cut this on a Glowforge. Where's my tape measure? I think it's like 18 by 10. 18 and a quarter. It's like 9.5 at the highest point. So it's just about that, the 18 by 10 dimension. So I'm going to put this aside and carry on with some of the other letters, and then we can paint them all up. Let's see, what are we going to use now? Some paint sponges, and I want my Adirondack chairs to be pretty bright, so I think I'm going to use this blue for one, and I'm going to use red. Or, well, actually, let's just do blue and pink. I'll do blue for Rick's and pink for mine. Then we got our campfire. And hi. We've got our campfire and other things to paint too. So I'm just painting the Adirondack chairs with a makeup sponge. I dab it in the paint, and then I dab a lot of it off so it doesn't drip. Then I dab it onto the piece that I'm painting. So there's a nice pink one. Now we'll do a blue one. Wow, this one is pretty bright. Okay, we've got the blue and the pink chairs done. I'm going to get some more brown. Actually, I could probably get a lot of it with what I have left here for my logs. Yep. And then, so I don't have to paint the bottom part of this because that's going to be on top of it. So I just need to paint the fire colors up there and then all of my letters. So I think I will do, I want this green color in there. So I will probably actually do all of the letters in this one color, because they're split up anyway. The Wilcox will be at the top, and then the chairs, Rick and Sherry, will be beside that, and then the Virgin New York will be underneath that. So I probably need more of that color. Oops. And when I'm doing larger pieces, I like to use the larger flat bottom, but then when I'm doing the fire part of the campfire, I'm going to be using the smaller pieces that I've cut off of the tip here of the makeup sponges, because I'm going to be using orange and yellow and red. So helps my makeup sponges go a little further when I don't use them all on for one color, because you can cut them in half. I know some people that cut them in half the other way too, down the long way, this way, so that they can use both halves that way, but this way works fine for me. And it really doesn't take that long to paint these. I've included the name of the font that I've used, the fonts. I've got 2 different fonts that I used for my sign in the file. The font names, not the font, but all of the fonts that I use are free commercial use fonts, so you should be able to download it anywhere. This one is Americano, I believe, and I don't remember what the other one is. And Duotone, I think. I didn't get very far down the alphabet when I found one I wanted to use, so I was still in the A's. And see, if I had these letters taped down even, they wouldn't be moving around on me. But then I've got all these little ones, and this just goes super fast because I'm almost doing 2 letters at once because of the size of the sponge and the size of the letters. A little bit more paint to finish it off. Okay, so that part is done. Now I just need to do the campfire. So let me stick 3 colors on here. I'll show you how I do it usually. Whoops, that just squirted right out. There must be some pressure in there. And a little bit of red. Orange. So I will probably only need 1 of these little pieces of sponge, because I try to get all 3 colors on it. and I dab it all on there. But then I can go back through and do it right on top. Get a little more orange in there, a little more red at the top. Just like going around the edge. And I can put a little more yellow down here at the bottom. But because the colors are all mixing anyway, we're okay doing it like that. And I just used one little piece of sponge for that. So that is my campfire. Now I'm just going to go ahead and glue my logs onto the second part, or onto the bottom part of the campfire. That's upside down. Yep, now let that set for a second. And then I'm going to bring over the other piece. And we can glue these on. It's the other thing about painting with makeup sponges and baby wipe is that it actually dries pretty quickly. Okay, so as long as I know where my chairs are going to go and I'm leaving room for my campfire, Rick and Sherry go beside that, Virgin New York goes underneath it. I need to make sure that Wilcox fits up here, and then I'm going to center it by eyeball. I'm going to center it between these two holes because I'm going up a little higher with this. I'm going to center it between the two hanging holes. So, yeah, I think that looks good. And I actually am going to turn those a little bit because I like it like that. So then we are going to glue these on. And I'm just using wood on wood. I use regular wood glue. It dripped all over the table. If I'm using wood and acrylic, or acrylic to acrylic, or the whiteboard blackboard that they sell at Home Depot, I'm trying to glue layers together, then I use the Instant CA adhesive stick fast, CA thick, stick fast adhesive. Just because if it's got a shiny texture to it like that whiteboard does, then the wood glue will not work. Okay, it looks pretty straight. I'm looking through the camera lens. I just got more glue on it. Maybe my letters need to come down a little because of the X. Okay, that's better. All right, I'm going to glue these up. And hope I can finish this before the battery dies on my laptop because I'm not plugged in right now. The other thing that's good about this is just Tight Bond wood glue. and it dries pretty quickly too. Not as fast as the stick fast does, but so then these can be hung at your campsite or on your camper door. You don't want to leave them out in the rain though. I'm actually going to angle our names. I think there's too much glue on that, so dab it off. I told you that I was going to be a mess by the time I was done. You see all the glue and the paint and everything on my hands. Okay. And if this is too boring for you, just go ahead and speed up to the end and watch the final picture. And yes, I broke the I off the end of my name when I picked it up, but oh, there's my air compressor, sorry. It's not one thing, it's another. It's real life, that's what it is. All right, let me lay this out so I know where it's going. Let's see, if we put the New York there, I can probably, hey, it's sticking to me. And I'm going to show you another little trick right here, maybe, if I can get these lined up. I'm going to move it up a little bit. It looks pretty good to me. So now I can take my piece of tape and get double use out of it, because I'm going to put it right on my letters. I'm going to be gentle because this is where I want them to go. Now I know that I want the edge of the B. I know where I want it to start, right there, so I'm just using this other piece of tape to mark where I want it to start. Then I'm pulling all these little letters off. I'm gluing them all at once. They're all on the tape. I'm gluing them all at once. There's a lot of glue. Now, I know I want it to start here, my B, so I can get that lined up, set it down, press my letters down, and then I can get rid of that one. And as long as these stick enough, I should be able to pull that off. And they're right where I wanted them. Okay, let's put this back on front view, and what do you think? Pretty neat, right? Okay, I'll be back again at some point to do some more signs with you. Have a great day. Bye.